moving up. The man, the myth, the legend. The one guy who I just single-handedly hate so much in this organization. You guys want to sit here and talk about this is boring, that is boring. Umar Decision Nurmagomedov. The most boring person to ever step foot in the UFC. He had to go through 3 Contender Series fights where he won all 3. And Dana said, "You're boring as shit. Get a finish. Do something." Finally, he had to say, "Whatever, you're in." Torres Finney makes his return.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here on Locked Door MMA. We're your hosts. I'm Brevin. This is my good buddy JP. And in today's video, we will be breaking down and giving our prediction for every single fight UFC 325. But before we do, let's just give you a quick shout out, you guys, as our viewers, as our subscribers and our supporters. Every member of Locked Door MMA, we appreciate you guys as always. And if you're not subscribed already, you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button for your boys. We're the best in the business. Last weekend, we went 8-3 on the entirety of the card. There was some weird stuff that happened, some canceled fights. I wish that record could have been even better if those fights were to have happened. I think we would have got them right as well. But this weekend we move into UFC 325, which I'm really excited about. But before we dive into those fights, JP, pretty good first card on Paramount Plus. I like the new layout. We'll talk about that. And JP, I'll let you talk about that card in general.
What a way to start the Paramount Plus era. What a way to come in. And it wouldn't be, I mean, based off of how last year ended, it wouldn't be a UFC weekend without some sketchy shit going on. Okay? Couple hours, like 4 or 5, maybe something like that before the card goes off. Johnson Hernandez is off. Was he hurt? Was he not hurt? I think it was money coming in on Hernandez to be KO'd in the first round. Me and Brevin were playing video games the night before, and he said, "Hey, we are officially not on a dog anymore." Michael Johnson line flipped. I was like, yeah, it is what it is. Maybe people are seeing the same thing we are. Nope. Apparently something came out. Crazy stuff. Weird stuff there. But the UFC not taking any chances. I think they did the right thing for sure on that. Pulling it, saying we're not going to mess with that again. But yeah, what a card, man. I mean, to go through it real quick, Ty Miller does what he does. Great striking, straight. Adam Fuggett, Mr. Fuggett. Damn. Getting clipped from the get-go. Josh Hockett is throwing strays out to anybody. WNBA players. All right? You are not safe. Have absolutely nothing to do with fights. Nothing. And he's throwing out strays. Called out Waldo. I mean, I'd like to see it. Does he get it? I don't know. Maybe a little too soon, Brevin. I don't know how you feel about that. But nonetheless, performance, great. On the mic, great. Stoppage, a little weird. I mean, if you're going to stop it, why wouldn't you stop it before, other than when he's flipping him off? I get it. Denzel, like, went down to his knees and stuff. Whatever. Charles Johnson. I sat up here and said, we have never gotten a Charles Johnson pick wrong. Yeah, so I guess that was your guys' cue to know when to fade it. Is what it is. Perez looked good. I'm fine with the loss. Charles is still moving. Like we said, hey, he gets clipped, he gets tired, whatever. He still moves, throws stuff out there, but Perez looked great. Bukowski's can't throw a straight punch. Everything loops. Dipshit, in my eyes, dipshit. Ateba. Brevin, I want to get your feelings on this. I'm seeing mixed reactions here. Obviously, he didn't get the KO in the first round, the first 30 seconds, first minute, whatever it was. People are saying he got fraud checked, he got exposed a little bit. Me personally, he's still young. What is he, like 23, not even 24 yet? Sure, he didn't get the knockout. He knocked the dude over, 3 times, 4 times, still throwing bombs. He didn't gas out horribly. Sure, he didn't get the knockout, but in my eyes, I think he passed a lot of tests still.
Yeah, I mean, we can go back and forth on whether or not that was a good outcome for him or not. And I feel like if you're arguing that it wasn't and it was disappointing, you just had money on a KO from him, right? But from a fighter standpoint, a dude that goes no further than the first round in the majority of his fights, going to a decision and winning a decision, that's good experience for a young guy like Gaudier. I think that was a fine performance. He has stuff to learn from it, but guess what? We now know he has a gas tank and he can survive all 3 rounds, which was a question going into it. He was still throwing hard punches. He was still, defending appropriately. He wasn't getting taken down. He could have done a better job cutting the cage off,
Mm,
but those are all things that he'll learn. He's young. So as a fan of Gaudier, I feel like it was good that it went to decision. It proved a lot to us. Like, hey, we don't have to worry about him just gassing after 1 round, and that the power is still going to be there because he was knocking the dude down in round 2, right? But yeah, if you hated that performance, sorry that you lost a KO bet, a prop bet on that fight. It is what it is. It was a good fight nonetheless from him, and I just expect him to take another leap in his next fight. And who's another guy that fought his opponent that didn't get a KO? CDL. CLD, not CDL license. All right. He wasn't driving the bus. Listen, it was CLD, right? Known for his striking, his KO power, all that. He didn't knock out that guy either. Right. So that guy's tough. He was eating some shots, but Gaudier, he learned a lot. I expect good things from him moving forward.
yeah, I mean, I agree. We got to learn how to cut people off a little bit more. Didn't love that, but yeah, I'm perfectly fine with it. Didn't gas out horribly. Ate some massive body kicks. Pulayev's body kicks are gross. But I didn't think it was terrible. But that's why he wasn't the lock. Getting to the lock, Umar did his thing. Umar Schnoomar, decision mar. All right. We told you guys he was a lock. Crybabies in the comments. Minus 1,500 nights, bro. It was minus 125 for the decision that we were calling the whole time. But lock's a lock. Told y'all he's going to do that. Jean Silva, Spider-Man Silva. I saw a meme right after the fight. They used AI. And after he jumped on his back, then it was Arnold Allen like sliding like he's a skateboard through a skate park. That was hilarious. Everybody was calling it Battle the Autism. Great fight. Arnold Allen's a tough bastard. Natalia Silva, I think people were saying a little robbery-ish. I mean, I think the third round was clear. I think people are saying Rose won the first two. Is what it is. Waldo slumps Lewis. That's why we didn't pick Derek, guys. And that's why we didn't pick Derek in the last one, but we figured it would catch up to him at some point. Sean didn't look great. O'Malley did not look great. Got the dub, though. Song is fast. He's tricky. And then the main event. I'm fine with one of our losses. Bukowski's loss was just atrocious because Nikita's chin is way up in the air and Bukowski's just can't throw straight. Patty just doesn't want to shoot a takedown. He's a tough bastard. I think everybody knew he was. He said in his post-fight he doesn't got to prove anybody. I understand that. Shoot a takedown, man. You just let Gaethje tee off in his wheelhouse all night. Not taking anything from Justin. Justin looked great, did what he did, right? If you're going to stand up, we said if you're going to stand up and box with Justin, you're in for a rough night. Just to ask Michael Chandler. But I think it said he went 0 for 5. I know he shot a couple in the 5th, but I don't think he ever truly shot a real takedown. I don't know. Terrible game plan in my eyes, but 8-3, lock hit, basic hit. Juicer didn't hit, but what's new?
Yeah, you got it this week. Speaking of this week, guys, we got a stat card, so we don't have too much more time to be talking about what's happened in the past. We got to talk about what's happening this weekend to get you guys ready. So if you like this content, if you're starting to get into the UFC, smack that subscribe button, hit the like button for us, and leave a comment. Is it your first time watching the UFC? How'd you enjoy last weekend? All the changes to Paramount Plus. Do you like the ads? Do you not like the ads? That's a different conversation.
Jesus.
I don't know why people are, complaining about that. It's always something, guys, that people are complaining about. But either way, it's a beautiful sport, and it's so good to have it back for 2026. All right, first couple fights on this card. We have the championship of the road to the UFC in all these different weight classes, starting with Namasari Batbayar taking on Aaron Tao. And also, this is probably the most atrocious card for name pronunciations. I'm sorry ahead of time. Leave a comment that I suck. Who cares? All right. These two are taking on each other in the championship for the 125 weight division.
I mean, I didn't think that one was bad. Those ones sounded okay. Um,
Well, that's just the first of many.
guys, I did think I was like, should I just make Brevin just introduce every single fight on the card? But I'm probably not gonna do much better. But yeah. Anyways, road to the UFC, very interesting. I was gonna start with these two and say, hey, their resumes aren't great. But if there's one thing about road to the UFC, nobody's resume is great. We're fighting 0-0. We're fighting 7-6, 18-12. Nobody's got a good resume. Okay. With that being said, a lot of good fights though. They will schlang it out. And Aaron Tao, if you are a tattoo fan, well, this guy's got one of the craziest tattoos I think I've ever seen. All over his face, over his mouth. Crazy stuff. But keep it short and sweet. Aaron Tao's kind of a brawler, right? So he's a fan favorite, probably. You're going to enjoy watching him fight. You're not going to see a snooze fest when he fights, but he's a little bit of a brawler, a little wild, dropping his head a little bit when he goes to throw and he's loading up. Namsari, I like his movement. He keeps his hands a little wide. He's one of those guys where he keeps his hands wide. He doesn't keep them up close. I like his calf kicks. He's quick, and he's looking to grapple too, right? He's not necessarily going to shoot double legs all the time, but he will grapple you. He'll take your back. He's got a good body triangle. He's got good scrambles on your back if you're trying to roll towards him or whatever it is. And you guys know how we feel about brawlers. Okay, so we're going to take Batbayar. We just think he's more talented overall. We think he's got more upside to finishing the fight in more places other than being a brawler. So give us a Namsari.
Yeah, the other thing too with that, I mean, Namsari's quick, dude. He's got quick hands, and for as good of a grappler as he is, he's got 4 wins by KO as well. There's some power in there, and I think if he catches Tao at the right moment, jumping in, because Tao will, you could see a KO victory from Namsari early in this one. So yeah, we really like the kid. He's also young, 25 years old. He's big for this weight class, right? He's strong, he's quick, and he can put people's lights out, which is impressive for that weight division. So Namsari Batbayar to win that tournament.
Another thing I will say, we got a lot of people from like China or South Korea and stuff like that road to UFC. I think that's what it's like made for dominantly. A lot of these guys won't move their head. Okay, so if you're on the Aaron Tao side, there's a plus side for you. A lot of these guys won't move their head, but yeah, Batbayar, pretty quick, pretty fast. All right, next one. Lawrence Liu is taking on Sulangranbo.
Yeah. Another situation here, guys, with with two individuals that are going to come out swinging. For me, Sulangranbo, I think, has the cleaner strikes, where Lawrence Liu tends to kind of sit back and not be as aggressive as his opponent. And so for me, I don't really like that. Even though he throws straight punches, right? I do expect Sulangranbo to really take the fight to him and really put on a good performance. The other thing too that JP was kind of alluding to, like with the road to the UFC, it's similar to Dana White's Contender Series, where you get a lot of action-packed fights because these guys know they have to make a statement, to make it into the UFC. You can't really just be a boring decision fighter and expect to get a contract after this. So expect fireworks in all of these fights. But for us, I mean, the young gun, Sulan Grampu, only 20 years old. He's going to be big, even though he doesn't have the reach advantage in this one. He is taller, he's strong, and he's quick as well. So we're taking Sulan Grampo, but another close fight and not a lot of film on these guys, right? That's the other thing that JP and I are kind of battling with guys that are fighting outside the UFC. We don't really have access to a lot of their tape. But from what we have seen, that's what I expect this fight, how I expect the fight to go with Sulan Grampo getting his hand raised.
Yeah, and I know what it looks like. Okay, if you guys do research on this kid, like Brevin said, super young right now. And he's been fighting for a couple of years professionally. He started his career 1-3. So I know that's, hey, you talk about red flags, that's a massive red flag. Super young kid, though. You watch him fight now on the film we do have. Brevin was talking about Namsari being fast. This kid's fucking fast. And like Brevin said, he's very accurate, great striking. Love what we see. my biggest thing is when I'm watching film with somebody, do they throw leg kicks at the end of their combination? Do they mix them in? This kid will. What do they do with the leg kicks if they're being offered them? What do they do with them? Do they get out of the way? Do they check them? Are they just a dumbass and they're just going to eat it? This kid, and you see it. I mean, if you guys have trained, most of you have probably trained. Sometimes it's hard with your footwork if you're not paying attention to get out of the way or check it, right? It's a little tricky thing, checking leg kicks. From the film I watched, this kid's addressing every single one. He's either picking his foot up, he's checking it, he's getting out of the way, he's doing something. Love that. And then he fires back immediately. Love that. If you're going to check a leg kick, throw something back out there. Give him something to look at. Super quick. Another thing that you guys know we love, when you're getting a takedown shot on you, what are you doing? Are you pummeling for underhooks? Modestus Bukauskas? Or are we just going to sit on the cage, let the dude have the underhook and not fucking do anything? And literally just stand there. You're pummeling for underhooks. What are you doing with the head? Where are your hips? Are you getting your hips back? Or are you just leaving them straight under your head so it's easier to take you down? This kid does that as well. And then he'll shrug him off, get back to the center. And Lawrence, just like I talked about, he doesn't move his head. Right? So we're fading the two Perth guys right off the bat, is what it is. If you want to do a nasty Perth parlay, all power to you. But we think the Aussies are taking an L in the first two. Give us a Sulangranbo.
Yeah, 1,000%. All right, next up, we've got Kelechiiro Nakamura taking on Sebastian Szalay.
So this one, out of the three so far, Brevin, I feel like this one, I mean, I don't want to say that, but this one's probably got the least chance to be a finish in my eyes. I feel like the first two, all four of them are willing to scrap and get down with it. First thing you're going to notice about Sebastian is this dude's a fucking decision merchant. Okay? He's a striker, Taekwondo guy, very wide stance. I was talking about Namsari, how he has his hands wide. His stance is closed more. This guy has a more sideways stance, and he's kind of the hopper. He'll bounce in and out. He'll kick at you. He'll bounce in, throw 1-2, roll, dip right back out, right? And a big thing that Brevin pointed out that he did not like, I mean, I'm probably stealing his track line right here, but he's always going backwards, always on the back foot, all right? So the people who don't like people getting on their bikes, this is one of them. Can he sit at range and do that? Yeah, I think so. He could probably win a couple decisions. He's got what, Brevin, like 7 fucking decision wins in his career or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's what he wants to do, right? And he's fast. I don't want to say he's got crazy power, but he's fast. So when you blitz in like that, you can get a knockout. But we don't think Nakamura is going to let him do that. Now, if Nakamura can't cut off the cage, going to be an issue. But the thing about Nakamura is he will be in your face to the point where cutting off the cage isn't really as important because the guy's worried about you right there. You're not in that little gray area where there's still kicking range. Nakamura will sling power, man. Boy, will he sling power. So we just don't like that Sebastian's going back all the time. He could outkick him, go to a decision. You're just playing with fire at that point. Not a big fan of it. When Nakamura gets people hurt, he does get a little wild, start winging shit from Timbuktu. But, I mean, he's got power. Let's tighten it up. We just think he's going to put more out there. We just don't like guys on the back foot. If you're going to be on the back foot, at least throw volumes, throw stuff out there. Decision merchant, I'm good. Give us Nakamura.
Yeah, 1,000%. I think that's the thing. Like, sure, Nakamura is probably the more wild striker, but when Szalay is moving backwards, he's got his chin up in the air. If he gets caught, I think he's just going to basically cover up, and Nakamura is probably going to tee off with those wild strikes. I don't think it's going to be a good look if that was to take place. And I think Nakamura holds the advantage. And he's the first fighter on this card that has the true height and reach advantage. He's going to be bigger than Sebastian. I think he's really going to make him feel that power as well. All right. Moving up, we've got Thornmore Fawn taking on Song Uk Kim.
Another thing we have not mentioned yet is a lot of these guys that we've already talked about, Road to UFC guys, are part of a lot of big gyms, right? So I know Yizha's on this card. Rongju was supposed to be on this card. Sulangranbo's in their gym, right? A lot of these Aussie guys that we just talked about, they're in City Kickboxing's gym. So it's a lot of experience. I mean, I said their resumes are trash, which they are. You're fighting a bunch of 0-0, 0-3 people. But they do have decent experience in the gym. Okay, so this hopefully we can get some good fights out of it. Dom Marfan. Saying that fast is tough. Really, both of these guys are pretty big for this 155 division. But Dom's gonna look to grapple. And the one thing to me, Brevin, that was crazy is these guys who are grapplers, you see them they like high singles, they like the high crotch, they like double legs. Sometimes some guys are better at standing back takes. Dom likes to sit there, feel you out, put you against the cage, let you explode, and when you explode, he's going to throw something in tight, and he's immediately in on the body lock. And from that body lock, he likes trips, he likes throws, he'll switch over to your back from there. But I feel like over 75% of this dude's takedowns comes from that body lock. He is a strong guy. So is Sang. So is Kim. Kim is also pretty strong. Neither of these guys are necessarily very impressive on the feet. We just don't. There's nothing that Kim offers that we're a fan of. Like Dom, he's got good grappling. His only 2 losses come from Quillen, who's fighting on this card. I'm not upset at that. I'm not opposed to that. We like Quillen. But Kim, I think Kim actually lost to Rongju as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so both these guys got good losses to UFC talent. But Kim's not fast. Kim doesn't move his head. He throws powerful, but you see it coming from a million miles away. It's like standing there watching a baby swing a bat. Super slow. If it hits you, it's probably going to hurt, but it's super slow. So, and he can grapple a little bit, but we just think Dom's going to put more out there, right? And we've been fading the Aussies this whole time. We're not going to fade this Aussie. This is the first Aussie we're taking in Perth. Give us Dom Marfan.
Yeah, no, I think you said it perfectly. And I think for Fan, can he take the fight to Kim? I think he can. He's fought good competition. What are we going to see from the younger man? And that's one of the things is this is the road to the UFC. And Kim's 32 years old, so I'm kind of favoring the guy that's a lot younger, probably has a lot more juice in his hands, and it probably is quicker, like JP was saying. So that's what stands out to me in this fight, and I think he can get it done.
100%. All right. Road to the UFC is done. We'll see how those finals go out. Next one. On Ofli, Genghis Khan is taking on Yizha.
Yeah, excited for this fight. I think really it's just going to be who can implement their game plan. Juan Ofli hasn't had a ton of success in the UFC. He is coming off of a win where he got the rear naked choke against Ricardo Ramos, which was impressive. However, I think for him, he's got to really land his takedowns and control this fight, take the fight to Yizha. Yizha, on the other hand, also, not an impressive UFC record. They're both 1-2, but he's also coming off of a win against Weston Wilson where he absolutely put his lights out, right? So I think in this one, can he take the fight? Can he take the fight to his opponent? Can he implement his game plan, which is the power from his hands, and knock Ofli out? I think he can. I think Ofli's going to stand in front of him, and then I see this fight JP playing out to where Ofli shoots a takedown, maybe an uppercut lands, something of the sort to really hurt Ofli, and then keep him from shooting takedowns. And I don't like Ofli on his feet, so I think Yizha's going to get this one done. But pretty close bout between the number 52 ranked guy and the number 57 ranked guy in this division. We'll see who who can come out on top.
A lot of high rankings there. Yeah. I mean, you said it. Like, Ofli on the feet, do not like it at all. Slow. Leg kicks are slow. See those coming from a mile away. Yizha's going to be much faster. I think he does have potential to eat up Ofli's leg. And Ofli's looking to grapple. Yizha's got 14 wins by submission in his career. So it's not like he's bankrupt. He knows what he's doing. He's not a turtle. Like one guy that we're going to be talking about later. So, yeah, give us Yizha.
All right. Moving up this card. Bear with me. My computer is very slow today. for whatever reason that may be.
Probably
We
that
gotta
bomb
get
you
another.
dropped on it a second ago.
No, I hit my mic, dude. My yeah, smacked it.
I mean,
All right,
we've done
moving
that
up
a
this card.
bunch.
The Welsh gangster, Oban Elliot, taking on Jonathan Micallef.
Close one, guys. Close one. One of the closer fights in our eyes on this card. Tough pick here. We like both. I know everybody's probably going to be pretty low on Oban based off of how his last fight went. But I was telling Brevin, I think the last guy he fought, that dude is a dog, right? He's got power, he's fast, and he can grapple like a mug. Okay, he just ragdolled Phil Rowe as well. I mean, feel the way you want to feel about Phil. That's a weird one to say as well. Micallef is similar to Pulayev in my eyes. Okay, he's not as big, but they're both super long, and they both really like that rear roundhouse body kick. And if it connects, I mean, ask Juice, right? His whole side when Micallef was fighting him was just all red, all beat up. Go ask Ateba. I know Ateba won, but I'm sure his fucking ribs, dude, the next day, I'm sure he was super sore. He was eating those things. So if we're Oban, we're going to have to watch that because Micallef's got like a 5-inch reach advantage on him. Super long guy. I understand that Oban got ragdolled, but like I said, the guy he fought, I think is a much better grappler offensively than Jonathan's going to be. Jonathan's a longer guy who's probably sneaky with the subs on his back from jiu-jitsu just because of long limbs. You see it all the time. But against Preston Parsons, another good wrestler, I understand he's older, but that's where Oban showed everybody he's got good takedown defense, and he's got power, right? Him fighting juiced up Basil Hafez when Hafez is on the sauce. Put him out. You know, and that's when Hafez, everybody was like, oh, this dude's going to be a killer because he took JDM long. So Oban inside is pretty nasty. He's got good striking defense. And I just don't think Jonathan's going to ragdoll. I really don't. And right now, let me find it. Yeah, plus 114. More experience. I mean, Micallef's good. We like him, but we think this is a great dog spot. Buy low, if you will, on Oban Elliot. We're taking the Welsh gangster.
Yeah, and guys, I think that's just speaks volumes to Oban's experience. Like the dude has fought some really good opponents inside of the UFC, and also when he was outside of the UFC, you know, he was fighting really well in that promotion as well. And you know, coming off of a rough performance, like it just wasn't his night. Okay, that happens. You know, we see that with some of the best guys in the world. And JP and I sat there the whole time watching the fight, like this just isn't the Oban that we know that we've seen fight before. And I think that was the case, you know. And Micallef, sure, he's long, he's big. I don't think he's going to outstrike Oban. And then, you know, like JP was saying, I don't think he's going to out wrestle Oban. So really, it's just going to be about is Oban smart if he enters the guard of Jonathan Micallef if he's on his back. And I think he's smart enough and he's got the skills necessary to keep himself safe. So I really think this is a good spot to take an underdog here in Oban Elliott, who has really good experience. You know, JP was talking about before the show. Micallef has done nothing inside the UFC to earn this line against Oban Elliott. To me, Oban Elliott's the one that deserves to be the favorite. He's not hammering.
100%. 100%. And if you guys are one of those people who last week, you're not on a dog, lines suck, massive favorites, this is your weekend. A lot of close fights, a lot of good lines.
Yeah, stick around till later. We got some stuff later on that you guys will really find interesting.
Yeah, you might be happy, might not. But yeah, this is your weekend for sure. All right. Moving up. The man, the myth, the legend. The one guy who I just single-handedly hate so much in this organization. You guys want to sit here and talk about this is boring, that is boring. Umar Decision Nurmagomedov, the most boring person to ever step foot in the UFC. He had to go through 3 Contender Series fights where he won all 3. And Dana said, "You're boring as shit. Get a finish. Do something." Finally, he had to say, "Whatever, you're in." Torres Finney makes his return, going up against Jacob Malkoun.
Yeah, no, this is going to be an interesting fight, guys. If you've been around watching our channel for a while, you know how JP feels about Torres Finney. I tend to agree with him, right? All he does is wrestle and shoot takedowns. The dude does not strike whatsoever. I don't have the stats. Maybe JP can throw him up on screen right now for you. In the last fight against Robert Valentin, I mean, Valentin got taken down like 20 times, dude.
I'm pulling him up right
Torres
now.
Finney, Torres Finney landed like 6 strikes. And this went to a split decision. And it was the first time that we saw maybe the judges, won't always credit takedowns as heavily as they have in the past. Um, it was strange that it was split because I do think, Torres Finney won that fight. Valentin didn't land much either. It was a weird fight, and I think after that fight, there were some differences in how fights were judged moving forward. But I don't think that's going to work against Malkoun. Malkoun has good power. He's also got submission ability, right? Which is not something that Torres Finney's faced in the past. What happens if he gets threatened with a guillotine, right? What's he going to do then? Is he going to let go of it? Is he going to allow the guy to scramble back up to his feet? Because when they're on their feet, the dude doesn't strike very well. It is what it is. I think he can really get caught. I think he can get hit to the body, really start to slow down, start shooting sloppy takedowns. It just won't look good. And you'll be like, what is this guy doing? And that's how I think this fight's going to go. I think this is a spot to fade Torres Finney. We're taking Jacob Malkoun. Hopefully he can knock him out and really send a message like, stop. We're not here to wrestle. We're here to fight.
And who was it? It was somebody last year towards the end of the year. Was it Almeida who was taking Volkov down and didn't do any damage?
Yeah, I think so. Jouton.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, if you're gonna wrestle, fine. If you're gonna ragdoll people, fine. This is MMA though. So if you're just gonna wrestle, no strikes, nothing, go do fucking wrestling. Okay, like Brevin was talking about. Torres Finney beat Robert Valentin. Somebody scored that fight for 30-27 Valentin.
Yeah, that was the weird part.
That was a boxing judge, I believe, and that was like his one and only. I believe he got pulled after that. The UFC was like, hey, we get it. You can't be doing that. You cannot be doing that. Torres Finney, like Brevin said, 17 total strikes, 4 significant strikes. I'd put money on it right now. You put me in the UFC, I'm landing more than 4. I'm probably going to get knocked the fuck out, but I'm going to go out there and swing, land more than 4. One of them might be a nut shot. I'm kneeing somebody right in the nuts. Shout out Justin Gaethje. We didn't even talk about all the fouls. Torres Finney sucks. He's trash. Boring as shit. The literal definition of a crotch sniffer. I mean, you know those little balls that you put in your shoe after sports to make the shoe smell better? They should start naming them after Torres Finney because that dude just... Dude smelling jock straps left and right. Get him out. Get him out. He sucks. If you're cheering for him, I don't like you already. Give us Jacob Malkoun.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's what it is. And we've seen it in the past, like guys like Muhammad Micallef. If you're not going to fight and you're just going to take people down and hold them there and not advance your position, you're going to get cut from the UFC. And Micallef's like still undefeated. The dude hasn't ever lost a fight. And they said, yeah, we're good. We're good. We don't want it here. Finney's going to run into that same problem. All right. Enough about that guy. Moving up, we've got Cam Rowston taking on Cody Brundage.
Enough about that guy. Let's bring in this guy, Cody freaking Brundage. Keep it short and sweet here. We're taking Cam Rowston. We are taking Cam Rowston. Do not care. If you're a Cody Brundage fan, I ask you one question. Why? Let's go through his last 5 fights. Lost to Bo Nickel. Lost to No Bickle, which skyrocketed his hype, right? After that, no contest, accidental blow. Shocker. Cody no contest Brundage. Cody controversy Brundage. Always. Julian Marquez W. Who cares? Oh yeah, and he was also getting clipped. The guy who asked Miley Cyrus on a date. And he was like 40 in that fight. After that, shocker, result overturned. Mansour Abdul Malik. We wanted to overturn it with the athletic commission because of this, because of that. You're getting your ass beat. And then a head clash. I'm sorry that you dip your fucking head into every exchange that you have. It's like watching a baby learn how to walk. Their head's down and they're fucking sitting there stumbling. And then the last one, lost to Eric McConaughey. Anybody screaming from the rafters how good McConaughey is? Hey, you're disrespecting him. You wouldn't say this to him in real life. Yeah, probably not because he's a professional fighter. He's still a bum. We're going Cam Rowston. Cody controversy Brundage. We're staying away from it. Red flag galore. Give us Rowston.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the dude's the definition of looking for a way out. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's always something with the guy. You can't back him. He does nothing good. Sure, he'll look to shoot some takedowns and throw big looping overhands, and they just never find their target. Cam Rowston, I think, can piece him up. Hopefully, he knocks Cody Brundage out cold. That's what I'm cheering for, at least.
Yeah. So we've done a decent breakdown, but the last couple fights, call it bias, call it what you will. I still think they're accurate, including this very next one. I've had my time to crash out. Looks like we're going to the other side of the table now. Billy Elekana is taking on Junior Pull Out Tafa.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are looking forward to this fight, don't, because it probably won't even happen when we get to Saturday. And how many times do I freaking talk about this? The Tafa brothers pull out of every fucking fight that they're in because I don't think they want to fight. They don't want to fight. They're just milking their time inside the UFC because they know they're trash. And I talk to JP about it all the time. If I ever see one of these guys out, I'll fight them. They suck. They don't do anything. All right. Junior Tafa's terrible. He moves down to light heavyweight, but still acts like a heavyweight because he has no gas tank. His hands are decent, but in this matchup, he's going up against Billy Elekana that matches the size, has a much longer reach than Tafa, and has a much better gas tank. And I just think Billy Elekana is going to sit out at range like he did in his last fight and pick Tafa apart. And if Tafa presses forward, look for Elekana to stick and move. And I think that's exactly what he's going to be able to do. And it wasn't the last fight that Elekana was in. It was the Ibo Aslan fight where Aslan's got this crazy power, right? You know, and he's going to load up and swing big. That was a boring fight because Elekana fought pretty smart, stayed at range, just kind of picked him apart, didn't throw a lot of punches. In the last fight, he fought a really tall opponent, and Kevin Christian ended up choking him out. So, you know, I think this is going to be one of those ones where count your days, Junior. Count your days. Just you guys are done, bro. Like they pull out of fights because they won't be in the UFC much longer. It's ridiculous. We're taking Billy Elekana. I think he's just a much better fighter. Yeah, Tafa brothers suck. They're terrible. I don't know why they're still in the organization. I don't care that Rosenstrike went to jail. Okay, he's still better than the Tafa brothers.
Rosenstrike went to jail?
Yeah, I saw he got arrested.
Really?
I don't know exactly what he was doing, but yeah, he got arrested.
He's pulling a Daniel Rodriguez.
Cedricus. Or Cedricus.
Or yeah, Dumas. I mean, I don't think Rosenstrike's fitting in any fucking dog crate around here, but yeah, man. There's not much to it. Like I said, last two fights before this, bias picks, still think they're correct. This one, bias picks, still think it's correct. If Junior's not pulling out of a fight, he's gassing in it. He's getting mad because he's screaming because he's in a deep heel hook and the ref stops it and he goes, "Why'd you stop it?" Because you're screaming in agony. That's the same thing as a tap. And then he's flipping the guy off and stuff. Whatever. Like Brevin said, his hands are decent, but he's going to gas out. Elekana can grapple. Right? We've seen him choke out Kevin Christian. Should have choked out Guskov. Should have. Sold that. And then, like Brevin said, he looked like shit against Ebo. I think he knew he sold the Guskov fight and then quit because he got tired and stuff. Bright lights, UFC debut.
Really short notice as well.
Super short notice. Ebo fight. Hey, I don't want to fuck this up, but this dude's got stupid power. So I'm just going to try and stay safe. Then Kevin Christian, let's get on your feet, get you some confidence. Now I think he's comfortable. I think he's confident. Billy Elekana all the way.
Yeah. It's a shame that that's the feature prelim. I mean, seriously, they're going to have to find a replacement. Like, I don't know if we even see this fight, guys. And the other thing too, Tafa has no grappling, right?
at
He
all.
gets on the ground. Both him and his brother are turtles. They
Oh,
don't defend anything.
yeah, that's what I
So
was talking about earlier. The fucking turtle, man.
yeah, so if Billy gets him to the ground, I mean, look for this to be short and sweet. Junior's tired after half a round. Billy's gonna be fine. Yikes. I don't know what the matchmakers were thinking here. I honestly, if Tafa does end up in this fight and he gets beat the way I think he's gonna get beat, they're gonna be looking to cut the guy. He brings no value, and neither does his brother.
100%.
All right, moving up this card. The fight that I'm super excited about, and we are now on the main card. Will and Salkilld taking on Jamie Mullarkey.
All right. Talked about it earlier. Told you guys that one guy, he's only lost to Don Bam Don. Only lost to Quillen. We are very high on Quillen. We've been high on Quillen. I would say I've seen every one of Quillen's KOs. I haven't. All right. Brevin's wife is distracting me talking about this, talking about that. Quillen sits down on Shul Jubilee. But you know what I did see is him starch Akbaras with a head kick. Disgusting. We were on Quillen on that one, but we were like, it's a close fight. This will be a real test for him. What was going to be another real test for him was the Rongju fight. Super excited for that one. Rongju pulled out. Don't know if it's an injury or whatever it is. But Jamie Mullarkey steps in on short notice. So I think you guys know where we're going with this. We're taking Quillen Salkilld. We're stupid confident in Quillen Salkilld. He can grapple. He can strike. He can do it all. Jamie, 10-6 with KOs. Super chinny. He beat Rolando Bedoya. Sorry, just looking around to see if anybody gives a shit about that. Lost to Ruffy. We'll get there. We will get there. But yeah, super chinny. Quillen's big. He's gonna have a 1-inch reach advantage. Mullarkey's okay. He's nothing good. I mean, I know people call him Jamie Stinklarkey all the time. The dude's a bum, but we're taking Quillen. There's no way we're not short notice.
Good for Mullarkey. He gets to fight in Australia. He's an Australian guy. That's awesome. He's going to get beat. Get a paycheck, go home. All right. Moving up. Tuivasa taking on Taliesin Teixeira.
You want this one first? You want the big boys first?
Yeah, I'll take the big boys. I kind of look like them. Tuivasa. I mean, JP dropped the last 5 fights that he's been in. Some may say, hey, good opponents, they're heavyweight opponents. They're tough. The guy's 8-8, lost his last 5 fights, and somehow is still a top 20 heavyweight in the UFC. I just don't see it. That's the weird part about this heavyweight division, right? Like, there's just not a ton of talent. Tuivasa, I wish him all the best. I think he loses his fight. He's taken on an opponent that's absolutely massive in Taliesin Teixeira. Talison's going to have a huge reach advantage. He's 5 inches taller than Ty. Taliesin can utilize his kicks as well, which I like in this matchup. Ty stands pretty flat-footed. Talison's going to be big. Watch the up kick. Keep him at distance with the calf kicks and the teeps. I think he can do that. And then watch the big shots from Taliesin. Now, the one thing with Taliesin is we know he can be caught. Okay, he fought Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis caught him. He was doing fine against Derek Lewis until he wasn't. And that's usually how Derek Lewis fights go. But I'd say right now, that's a good learning lesson. Hey, I've got to be safer. I've got to tuck my chin. I've got to do some of these things a lot cleaner and a lot better than I did because I stepped in, got caught, suffered a loss. That was his first loss. So great bounce back opportunity in this fight against Tuivasa, another smaller heavyweight that I think he can really piece up and tee off on as long as he stays safe from the big looping shots that Ty will offer up. We're taking Taliesin Teixeira.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And like Brevin's saying, it's going to be looping wide big hooks. And that's all it's going to be from Ty. He's not going to combo shit up. He's not going to put a 1-1-2, body, head, body. He's not going to do any of that. He's going to sit there, duck his head, swing one big wild-ass one, try and clip him on the temple, on the chin, like Brevin's saying. We talk about it all the time. These taller guys, they'll normally hide behind their shoulders and put their hands up. So these short guys, when they get on the inside, you just throw one over the top, try and clip him. And Tai can. You know, he's done it before. And then he does that, and then he does a shoey. Super entertaining. I mean, we love the entertainment. But the guy's dropped 5 in a row because how committed is he? I saw a picture of him a couple weeks ago. Dude's over 300 pounds. And like, yeah, Brevin's talking about the Teixeira fight. Dude, he was huge. Did you see that picture?
No, I haven't, but it's like, are you even going to make weight? You haven't fought since 2024 against the guy we mentioned earlier that went to jail. You're partying. I know he's a partier. He hangs out with the Nelk boys at times, like the Shoeys. He's a big dude. Are you going to make weight?
Yeah. And like, if you don't make weight at heavyweight, that's a problem.
That's a major problem.
Like, you ain't getting nowhere near Smotherman territory. We didn't even talk about that. Smotherman, I mean, Michael Bisping, I don't feel sorry for this guy. Show up, make weight. Oh, shit. Yeah, scary stuff for Smotherman. He's all right. But, yeah, Teixeira is going to be massive. And I think the only way he loses this if he's just an idiot and fights horrendously. You have that massive reach advantage. Like Brevin said, the up kick is there for you all day. Whether you want to stab it and teep it to the gut, up kick it, high kick, that jab, 1-2, stay behind your jab. It is clear as day, super easy game plan. So the only way that Teixeira loses is if he fucks it up and he's an idiot. We're taking Taliesin.
Yep, 1000%. All right. Another fight that we're excited for, we're extremely excited for, Rafael Fiziev taking on Mauricio Ruffy.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Man. Ruffy is fighting before the guy who beat his ass last. Ruffy's a guy we were high on. Everybody's high on. Everybody likes it. Okay? You see the stance. You see the striking technique. That's why everybody talks about him and Connor. It looks extremely similar. You love the movement. When somebody has that, they got all the skills to just put on crazy performances. You love to see it. Beautiful flow with striking. Very gorgeous to watch. Ruffy quit in his last fight. He just did. Okay, if you know anything about grappling, about chokes, about anything, you don't just stand there posted on one arm and your other arm's out in no man's land. You're not fighting hands. You're not trying to turn in. You're not trying to get up. You're just sitting there like you're taking a picture, okay? He might as well have been naked and had the dude from the Titanic paint him like one of his French girls because he's just sitting there posing on his head. Benoit's like, okay. It's what Benoit does, right? He's former French special forces, imposes his will. He's going to take you down. Ruffy wobbled him with a jab. If you don't believe me, go rewatch it. He wobbled him with a jab, stuck it to him. And Benoit sat there and wobbled a little bit. What did Ruffy do? Sat there. Didn't move. And then quit. He got exposed extremely. Now you're going to say, well, Fiziev's not going to do that. I understand that. Fiziev's not going to take him down. Fiziev could. He's got decent trips, the clinch and stuff like that, right? Fiziev is also a world-class striker. Well, he just got knocked out by Justin Gaethje. Okay. He was also landing on Justin Gaethje. He also had another extremely close fight with Justin Gaethje before that. Fiziev is not a slouch on the feet. He is very good on the feet. Muay Thai, I would call it an elite Muay Thai. And Ruffy pissed me off last fight. He can't throw straight. He does all this wild shit. Cool, it's cool to watch. Sometimes just fucking throw straight. 1-2 down the middle. Cow's kiss. This dude's chin's way up in the air. Stop loading up. Just throw 1-2 down the middle. Touch him, touch him, touch him. Once he's on wobbly legs, then do a fucking 360 backflip, no scope, whatever you want. You want me to believe he's just going to sit here and outstrike Rafael Fiziev with his wild shit? Fiziev's not going to see it coming? We just watched Fiziev fight a super long, talented striker in Bahamundes. He looked great. Fiziev's fast. Don't even get me started with his kicks. extremely reactive to other people's kicks, and then he'll fire one back. We're taking Rafael Fiziev dog money. Ruffy has to show us something. I'd love to see him win. I love the talent, love the looks, his technique, all of it. But he quit, and right now he looks like a one-trick pony. Give us Fiziev.
Yeah, 1000%. I mean, I don't know how you go into this fight as the favorite, taking on a Zeev who's fought really, really well against top level competition. And JP, you said he got knocked out. He didn't. He got knocked down. He
Oh,
went to
true.
decision with Justin Gaethje. The dude's tough as nails. He can take a shot. You know, he's gotten popped by some of the hardest hitters in this division. I don't think he gets knocked out by Ruffy, right? When Ruffy loads up and tries to land these knockout shots, I don't think it's going to have the impact that he thinks it's going to have against a guy like Rafael Fiziev. So he's going to be in this fight. He can survive the length, which we saw in his last fight against Bahamondes, right? And he's skilled enough on the ground to keep himself safe, potentially trip Ruffy up, which Ruffy's, yeah, kind of shown some good things against low level competition that got us really excited about him. And trust us, like we were big Ruffy fans and we still are. We're pulling for the guy, but you have to show us that you've made the necessary changes for us to continue to back you, especially if you're the favorite right now against a Rafael Fiziev who's really well rounded and only loses to the top guys in that division. So yeah, sticking with Rafael Fiziev here, dog money, let's run it.
Hey, and I didn't realize. So I did see when I'm doing research, Ruffy has been knocked out before. The guy that knocked him out did win on the Contender Series last year. And he is currently 13-1. I'm just saying, get him back in the UFC. Or not back in the UFC, but get him in the UFC. That might be a good storyline right there. But yeah, dog money. And I think you guys are going to like what's coming at you. All right. Next up, man, we were just talking about who beat Ruffy's ass. BSD, Benoit Saint-Denis, taking on Dan Hooker.
Yeah. Good matchup really for Benoit Saint Denis to prove himself because Dan Hooker's been in there with the top guys in this division. He's been in absolute wars. You know, and he's one of these vets in this division that people have to prove themselves against, right? He is, I would say, JP, like the true gatekeeper of the upper parts of that division. Even though he's ranked number 12, whatever, like maybe not a gatekeeper of the top 15, he is the gatekeeper of skill set. What do you truly got? Because Dan Hooker can defend takedowns. He scrambles really well. He hits hard. He'll outstrike you. He's got good kicks as well. Benoit Saint Denis, yeah, he presses forward and he can either maul people or be mauled because we've seen that in the Dustin Poirier fight, come out really, really hot, come out really, really strong, and then all of a sudden get caught. We've seen Benoit get wobbled by jabs. Is the chin there? That'll get tested as well against Dan Hooker, right? He will find that chin. It's going to be an all-out war, and I think they're going to be going after each other from the moment that that bell rings, right? But I don't think Benoit Saint Denis can continue to keep up that pace and the pressure and the things that have given him success for all 3 rounds of this fight. Granted, yes, it's only 3 rounds, but we've seen Benoit gassed after one, after even 3/4 of the first round. Benoit will gas Dan Hooker. He has the 5-round experience. He has the overall experience. I think he's going to come into this fight with a great game plan, weather the early storm, and really take it to Benoit Saint Denis later on in the fight. Dan Hooker right now, big time underdog. We're taking Dan Hooker. This is just one of those spots. We don't believe in BSD and his skill set right now. He's kind of a one-trick pony. He's going to try to run through you, submit you, or knock you out with a looping hook as he's lunging in, right? I just don't love it. Fought a decent fight against Ruffy, but I think it was more so Ruffy not being prepared, Ruffy not fighting a good game plan. When he threw straight, he was landing. He never threw straight after that. Dan Hooker, he will throw straight. I think he can find the chin of Benoit Saint Denis. Give us Dan Hooker, the dog.
Yeah, guys. And I feel like this is a pick where you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it, right? You're either going to say, hell yeah, I'm backing you, or you're going to say, you guys are stupid as shit. And to that, I might tell you, I think this is the biggest recency biased fight on the card. BSD. Absolute killer. BSD is going up against Dustin Poirier. Old age versus new age. What's going to happen? Oh, okay, that's perfectly fine. Comes out like Brevin said, putting it on DP. And Dustin does what he does. Boom, cracks him now. Down goes Benoit. That's fine. Good fight. Dustin Poirier, legend, does what he does. Got his ass beat a little bit, then clipped him. Next fight, goes out there and gets the shit kicked out of him by Moicano. The shit kicked out of him. Okay, now everybody, oh, BSD's a fraud. He sucks. Oh, dude sucks. Nobody likes him. He can't do anything. Goes out there and beats Prepelec by submission. Oh, sorry. Still just looking to see if anybody gives a shit. Prepelec sucks. What are we talking about? Next one, Mauricio Ruffy. I just sat there and talked about it. He quit. And he got wobbled by a jab. What are we talking about? And then Beneil Dariush with like, what was it, Brevin? 12 seconds? Something like that.
Yeah.
One strike. Who freaking cares? And now he's this killer, this massive favorite against Dan Hooker, which, here comes the recency bias again. Well, he got ragdolled by Armin. Okay, name me one person who hasn't been ragdolled by Armin. Oh, Charles Oliveira. Islam. Are we serious? That's your point you're going to make. Is Islam and Charles haven't been ragdolled? Which he beat Charles, by the way. We don't think so, but still, on paper, he beat him.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking sue the guy. Armin's disgusting. Armin is damn good. And before that, oh yeah, he has a win over Gamrot. But is that another recency bias? Gamrot sucks because Charles beat him? Make it make sense, man. Make it make sense. He was scrambling with Gamrot, and now you're going to tell me BSD is going to ragdoll him? Like Brevin said, Dan Hooker's a dog. He'll be in the fight. He's one of those guys that can fight when he's tired. He even said it in the Armin fight. Go ahead and wrestle. It makes both of us tired. I can fight when I'm tired. I agree with that. Watch the Dustin Poirier fight.
Yeah, even the Jalen Turner fight.
Oh my God. That made Jalen Turner not want to fight anymore. That was probably what kicked it off.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's been in wars. Yes, I understand that. This might be the time. Sure. He might not be able to do it anymore. This might be the downfall of Dan Hooker. I do not care. If it is, it is. I'll eat it on the chin. I'll say, yeah, I picked him. Bad pick, whatever. I don't even think it's a bad pick. If he loses, he loses. BSD is not this world killer that everybody thinks he is because he is on a 3-fight win streak against absolute fucking bums. One of them that got fraud checked. We'll see what Ruffy turns out to be. It was an atrocious performance. You're not fighting the choke, and then you quit. Give us Dan freaking Hooker, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, let's hear it this week, guys. You were on me last week for the favorites that we were picking. We've now just given you 2 dogs in a row. Dare I say, we might not be done. We may not be done. All right. So let's hear it. We got great underdog picks. Dan Hooker, like JP said, he's proven he can go to war. And you're getting this line on him against a guy that has been fraud checked, hasn't been through wars. He either does really well quickly or doesn't do well at all. And candidly, I don't like that. Yeah, I do think Dan Hooker gets it done here. All right, moving to the main event of the evening, the moment you've all been waiting for. Alexander Volkanovski is taking on Diego Lopes for the second time.
Ooh, man. Good one here. Are you as upset as everybody else seems to be about this being remade?
Yeah, it is what it is, man. I mean, I'm a fan of the sport, dude. I just put fights on the screen. I'm happy. Both these guys, very talented, right? We're not getting some bums in there. It is what it is. I'm excited to see it again. There was moments for both guys in the first fight. So I guarantee there's going to be a lot of action in this one. It's not like one just wrestled him up against the fence the entire time and it was a boring fight. No. So I'm excited for this fight nonetheless.
100%. Neither of these guys have been boring through their career. I mean, yeah, if you're a fan of violence, Diego Lopes is at the top of that list. If you're a fan of greatness, Volkanovski is at the top of that list. Like, this is a pick on the card where I'm really not going to argue with anybody. Either way you go. right? Volkanovski showed, sure, everybody thought he was chinny, this and that, recency bias. He's been knocked out, he sucks, this and that, even though he's fighting great competition. Great competition. And I think the Gaethje Pimblett fight solidified that for everybody, because everybody's like, well, Topuria would beat the shit out of both of them. Yeah, because he's just that good. Volkanovski showed in the last one. He still got it. Right? And one thing I was telling Brevin before the show, Volkanovski does something that I love personally, that I think is super smart, is the adjustments. Is the on-the-fly learning. One round he'll do one thing, the next round he won't do it at all. He's super disciplined. We see it in football all the time. You don't make it second half adjustments, you get your shit whopped. It's the dumbest thing you can do, okay? When you're losing, you're not doing well, something's working, something's not working. I love when every time me and Brevin are watching a fight, we'll sit there, and if they give us the corner cam, I know that's what everybody was upset about, the ads over the corners. We'll listen to the cornerman talk. Are they going to be a chotch and just scream at you? Yeah, go in there, kill this fucking guy. Come on, come on. Are they going to smack you? Or are they going to realize your adrenaline's probably going crazy, probably can't hear much, so I'm going to get down on your eye level and stare at you and give you a couple things clearly that you can do to win the fight. What's the best thing? Hey, stop doing this. End with a leg kick. Stop going backwards. You have to be first to throw. Give him something. His team will do that. He'll do that. The one problem is Diego Lopes is one of the most dangerous people on the planet to fight. The biggest thing I was telling Brevin is I was like, I wouldn't mind taking Volkanovski. We were talking about it. Which side are you on? Which side am I on? I wouldn't mind it. My only thing is I feel like it's like sitting in a room with a fucking rattlesnake. And the rattlesnake's in between you and the door. Super small room. You might be able to sit there. The longer you stay in that room, the more and more dangerous it becomes. Fighting Diego Lopes from 3 rounds to 5 rounds gets more dangerous. You fight him for 25 minutes, super dangerous. Volk fought a perfect fight last time. You're fighting him for another 25. And you do it again. Because the more chances you give Diego Lopes to put you out, yikes. I understand we saw Jean Silva light his ass up. And then look what happened. Diego is dangerous literally all 25 unless he is sleeping actively. Last time we picked this fight, we were not doing the same picks. We were on different ones. Brevin was on Volk. I was on Diego. Not this time. He alluded to it. We're not done with the dogs. Give us Diego freaking Lopes, man. We said it when he started. He has been one of our favorite fighters forever. He will be champ at one point. I think it's Saturday night.
Yeah. 1,000%. I think he can get his get back, and we talk about it. I mean, fighting the same guy twice, it's tough to do and defeat the guy, especially when their styles are not too far apart. Diego, he carries a big time power about him. And one thing that I was telling JP before we started filming, I do love the fact that he had a fight in between, right? He fought Jean Silva and he faced some adversity after having a lot of success in round one. And then he found the spinning elbow KO, right? Like, it's just another great test for Lopes to pass, and for him to go out there against Volkanovski after having faced him once before. I think he's going to implement a really good game plan. You're the guy that's first to throw, right? He was too hesitant in their first bout, and that's what got him in a lot of trouble. Once he started to open up, he opened up Volkanovski, created the large cut under the eye. He started knocking him down late in the round. He just has to go. And he was a little too hesitant. Maybe the moment was a little too big. I don't think it's going to be this time around. He knows what needs to be done. And I believe in Diego to get it done. And that's why we're rocking with Diego Lopes. Let's become champion once and for all. I think he's finally going to do it.
I'm so excited. Super excited. What a way to start Paramount, dude.
1,000%. Now, since we are on that fight, I got to bring up the artwork for the card. Now, typically, they have the guys kind of looking at each other, facing each other. I mean, they made Volkanovski look like the final boss in a video game,
Yeah.
and Diego Lopes is a small little thing on that card. Holy cow. I mean, even in the Gaethje and Pimblett fight, they were the same size and all that. They just made Volkanovski look like a monster. Whereas Lopez is a small little like David and Goliath. But wow, um, interesting choice for the card art there. All right. That does it for the card. It doesn't do it for the show. Don't go anywhere. We have your free show parlays coming your way. And as you guys know, the lock hit last weekend and the basic hit. And I'm going to do that for you guys again this week, starting with Locked Door MMA's lock of the night. JP, who are we locking up?
Are we locking a dog? No, we're not locking a dog. A lock is a lock. I told you guys earlier, we're stupid confident. One guy's taking it on super short notice. Salkilld. Do not give a shit about the line. We're just going to have to stop saying that because people are just going to constantly talk about that. But we're taking Salkilld. He's getting Mullarkey out of there. You don't like minus 800? Then play Quillen inside distance. That's what I'm going to do. Put him in a parlay. Lots of options for you. You don't got to play minus 800. Give us Salkilld.
Yeah, 1000%. All right, time for Brevin's basic. Let's start with none other than the man that's taken on my arch nemesis, Billy Elekana, to get it done over Junior Tafa. Then we're moving up to the lock. Salkilld is gonna get a dub. And then for my final pick in the basic, give me Diego Lopes in the main event. Some dog money in the basic this week. It's going to smack. Those three together should be pretty good odds for you guys. For all the people crying about the odds, there you go.
Good one. Good one. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right. I said last week and we're hitting a juicer. And we did. But that's okay. Because I meant this weekend is what I was meaning. All right, I didn't clarify myself. Is what it is. Sit down, shut up. Because this weekend is super juiced. All right, first one, Diego Lopes. Dog money. Give us our boy. He's taking us home. Next two are the co-main and the one before that because we're riding all dogs. Throw Dan Hooker in there, plus 250. Throw Fiziev in there, plus 102. Next one, Salkilld. Lock is a lock for a reason. The next one, Yizha. Mainly because I do not like Ofli. Don't think he is very good at all. And the final one is going to be Rowston over Cody. I hit my head. Cody, I got poked in the eye. Whatever, Brundage. Get him out of there. No controversy. Rowston's not letting it go to the judges. 6 legs. It's freaking juiced.
It is juice. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Your free show parlays coming your way as always every single week. So if you made it this far in the show, show some love, leave a like, leave a comment with who you got for this card. And don't forget, if you are not subscribed, make sure to subscribe right now and tell a friend to tell a friend. UFC's coming your way and you don't want to miss out for these great predictions that we have every single card. JP, I'll let you take us home.
Man, UFC is so back every weekend. Super excited. We had a great time last weekend. Great card. Another one coming at you. And like Brevin said, we appreciate everybody. Okay, you guys have been killing it with everything. We've gotten a couple new subs. A lot more eyes on the UFC. Best in the game. Okay, best predictions. Best locks. Just best vibes, man. We're out here. All right. Football's ending. We're diving in. We're locked in. All right. Speaking of football, Rams didn't get it done. Crazy game there. Seahawks, Patriots. Brevin, can we get a little early prediction? I know it's a couple weeks away, but who you think?
You know, I'm actually pretty high on the Patriots. I think they're going to play a lot better in the Super Bowl than they did against the Broncos. The weather was terrible. They shouldn't have to deal with that in the Super Bowl. Should be a close game. I really like how Seattle's been playing, though. They have a lot of momentum. Early prediction right now, I'd probably have to pick the Seahawks. They just seem a lot more well-rounded and a high-powered offense at this moment, but I wouldn't count out the young gun in Drake May, only 23 years old. It's super fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, crazy. Love football. Very excited for next year. Okay, we'll see what happens. All right, I'm hearing rumors who the Raiders are going to hire. We'll see what we will do. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, another weekend, another set of fights. It was a pleasure. Bingo, bango, baby.